Jude Burrows is joining us now on the phone, one of my colleagues who we were very worried about, but he's fine. Hi, Jude.
Hello, Kay. How are you?
I am fine. How are you, more to the point?
I am enjoying the sea air right now. It is very, very good to be free.
Yeah, tell us about... I mean, we did manage to speak to you intermittently, but you couldn't get out. You were hopeful that you could. Then you were told that you couldn't. Tell us what the last few days have been like, Jude.
It's been a combination of peaks and troughs. For everyone, it's been very stressful. Last night in particular was incredibly tense. And this morning, we eventually managed to negotiate our way out of the hotel with the help of the International Red Cross. I mean, all the problems started on Saturday when most of the Gaddafi regime fled. And we thought we were free and clear to start doing our jobs. And then it became quite clear when they sent some armed men back that there was no way we were leaving the hotel. And that realization slowly dawned on us by Monday that we were, in fact, hostages. At this point, I mean, it brought out the best and the worst in everyone in the group. For the most part, the best. Everyone worked really well together. We supported each other. And in the most part, the producer from CNN, I don't think we'd have got out as quickly if it wasn't for her. It's been quite an emotional time, to be honest.
I'm sure. What about food and water, that sort of thing?
Yeah, food was a definite problem. By the time we got out, we were probably down to a day's worth of water. None of us have really eaten that much since Saturday. The kitchens were raided by the Gaddafi officials and Gaddafi soldiers that came in, and to the point where we were told to leave the food alone when we tried to take some. So we just grabbed what we could, really, which was mainly bread and cheese and chocolate and things like that.
And as a group, were you intimidated by the soldiers? What happened? Because originally they were minders, and then the personnel changed, didn't it?
Yes, I mean, we've always been slightly intimidated by them, but it definitely took a turn for the worst, where it came down to avoidance more than anything, except for the most gutsy of the group with us who were trying to negotiate. It got to the point where they were suspicious of our movements. We were concerned that they were going to corral us into one end of the hotel. And then things would have taken a turn for the worse. But then once they relaxed, as the evenings went on, they let us start to move around freely again.
Why were you being held? Were you told?
The word we got was apparently Musa Ibrahim had given an instruction to keep us there, otherwise we would start working for the rebels.
And when they told you that you had to stay, how did they make that point to you?
Well, some of the men they left behind, some of us knew were nasty pieces of work. I mean, I've been here for a total of 3 months, so we've had various run-ins with a few of them. People didn't even try at first to leave the hotel. Some of these guys were strolling around with bandanas around their heads, swinging rifles around, and we definitely knew something was up. It was only the next morning when the looting started we felt that we may be able to leave, and then within a few hours we had more Gaddafi soldiers turn up and tell us that we were going nowhere.
What was the low point for you, Jude?
The low point last night, we had sort of a Chinese whisper that there was a large amount of Gaddafi troops who were camped in the woods outside the hotel, and maybe even inside the hotel last night. And in the morning, they were going to smash through, and we were all very concerned. We honestly were just crossing our fingers and praying that nothing happened.
And how did you manage to keep your spirits up as a group?
It's a good sense of humour more than anything, I think. Everyone was cracking jokes, doing our best when people were under pressure. Someone would step in and console them. But yes, a healthy dose, healthy sense of humour amongst everyone, really, even shortly after when we had very, very tense moments.
And what about today? When did you realise that you were going to be free? What happened? Did you get a phone call? A
producer from CNN had begun talking to the lone guard. He was an elderly man who was actually, I think, quite an educated man, and he'd been given orders to guard the hotel and protect us from younger Gaddafi soldiers who wanted to harm us. And eventually they managed to talk him down to relinquishing his weapon, and we actually brought him with us. Promised to take him away, and he's come with us to the Corinthian hotel where everyone is right now. And he has. There have been tense moments, but he did treat us quite well.